Hey everybody, welcome back to another Spooky Nerds podcast. I am here with my beautiful wife once again. Welcome back. Been a couple of episodes without you, but that's okay. We're here. So, first of all, thank you guys for the 61 subs. You guys are awesome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Please comment because we want to talk to you guys. And that's the whole thing with this. We want to interact with everybody talking about horror movies, talking about cards. Usually the card stuff I'll be solo, and we're going to be here talking about movies. So, what are we going to be talking about today? We are going to be talking about Hellraiser. We're going to be talking about the original 1980s version, and then we're going to be kind of comparing, contrasting it with the one that came out just a couple of years ago. Let's start with one main point. Get this out of the way right off the bat.
Wasn't it last year it came out?
I think it was 2022. I don't
Time
remember.
Flies when you're having a good time.
It does. Time does fly when you're having fun. So straight up, Doug Bradley is the king. We can all agree Doug Bradley played by far the best Hell Priest that has ever been played. Jamie Clayton did amazing, and you can totally throw out the argument, oh, Pinhead's supposed to be a dude. No, it's not. Read the book. They're androgynous angel/demon creatures.
Wait, why do we all agree that he played the best Hellraiser?
Because he did.
Pinhead.
Go ahead.
What is your support?
My metrics.
Your evidence.
My evidence. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, visually, I think that the original Hell Priest makeup was done beautifully. Clive Barker is a genius. Everything he's done is, aside from the whole bondage scenes, brilliant. Love him. Plus, and I guess you can't really throw it on him. It would probably be his writers, but some of the lines that they came up with were absolutely incredible. And here's one of them.
Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely crazy. So the original one, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say spoiler alert because it's been like 30 years. So get on that. They're on Tubi. The new one
How many years has it been?
It's been like 30. I think it came out in 89. 87. No, it came out the year after I was born, 1987. Yeah, I totally just aged myself there, but whatever. So, main story, Uncle Frank is hunting the world for the craziest experiences or most intense experiences he can muster, whether that be sex with a whole bunch of people, crazy weird things. He ends up in some sort of Asian country, I guess, and this dude gives him the puzzle box. He figures out how to open it up, and it turns out to be some sort of gateway or doorway to a layer of hell where it's just constant torture, which, that's pretty sweet, right? I'm not sure why you would go looking for something like that, especially in that intense of a scenario, but so be it. Yes, if you're going to watch it today and you've never seen it, it's probably pretty hard watch. The original is definitely not her favorite.
Okay, but it was good because it was a good setup for the new one.
Sure. The new one kind of being...
And also, you can't escape, like, the creepy, awful special effects.
Yeah. For those who have seen it, I think she's talking about the reanimation of Frank and then how he kind of...
Well, just the Cenobites in general, I think.
Sure.
They're not great, but for that time, I would say it was pretty great.
Oh, sure. I will give it to the teeth chatterer guy. I think he was pretty awesome in every one of the ones he was in, and obviously Doug Bradley as Pinhead. Pinhead always looked spot on. We're not going to talk about what happened with Hellraiser Judgment or Hellraiser Revelations.
Great, I haven't seen
Hellraiser Revelations. Yeah, I told her she didn't have to watch those because the actors that they chose for Hell Priest, it was bad. Both those movies were bad. Really, really bad. Clive Barker, please come back.
I mean, I'd say they're as bad as the Blair Witch Project, but
them's his fighting words. Them's his fighting words. So Frank ends up in this layer of hell where he's constantly being tortured. Come to find out, he's really trapped in the house where he was playing with this box in. So his family moves in. It's his brother's wife and their daughter. And I believe his brother, they're moving into the house, and his brother ends up cutting his hand, and some blood kind of spills in the room where he's at. And all of a sudden he starts to be reanimated because the blood brought him back. So, and that's kind of some of the really bad special effects and CGI, or not even CGI. I think it was mostly just dolls and PVC pipe, and some blood splattered around. But Frank is very rudimentary.
I don't know.
It's something like that. We're just going to call it very basically reanimated into like a skeleton muscle form, and convinces his brother's wife, to start bringing men up there, killing them for their blood, to bring him back 100% so he can kind of escape this hell that he was looking for the entire time. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Hell Priest. It's crazy. So at this point, things just go all kinds of crazy, and people are dying, and Frank's coming back, and the Cenobites end up coming after him. That's the name of all the little crazy people around Pinhead's little dudes. They end up finding him, and the ending is pretty crazy intense. One thing I do have to say is some of the one-liners in this are absolutely brilliant. Definitely check them out. Here's another one of my favorites.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Always a huge fan of that. So that was in the hospital scene with the niece, and anyway, you definitely got to check it out. There are, I think in total with the new one, there are 10, maybe 11. There are a ton of sequels, and she has agreed to watch the sequels with me, all of them. I've shown her a couple of them. She's saying no, but she said it not too long ago. We just have to skip the first two because they're a little old.
I don't remember agreeing to that.
I definitely remember you agreeing. Maybe I created it, but that's okay too. I would say most of the sequels are actually worth giving a shot. Like I said, Revelations and Judgment, in my personal opinion, don't bother. They're bad. There are a couple in the interim. I think it's Hellseeker and Inferno. Those two sequels are, really the first four are a brilliant setup for the entire Pinhead story. Definitely also check out his books. They are absolutely incredible, from what I've heard. I haven't actually had a chance to read the Scarlet Gospels, but I have done a little bit here with, what was the first one called? Hellbound Heart. I did read some excerpts from the Hellbound Heart. Incredible book. This is the book nerd over here, though. Major book nerd. At one point, we'll have to show you all the stacks of unread books laying all over the house. What happened? Anywho, so that's an incredible setup. Then, excuse me, fast forward to 2022. We've had a billion sequels. Everybody in the horror world is begging for a reboot. And what do we get? We finally get a reboot. Was it straight to Hulu? Was it like a Hulu original? I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might have been a Hulu original. Wifey's going to fact check me, CNN style, over here real quick. Let me know what's going on. When the movie first came out, a lot of people were really split on the idea that Pinhead was not being played by a male. Who cares? What everything boils down to is that the best person is in there for the job, and Jamie Clayton absolutely crushed it.
Did we watch it on Hulu?
Yeah, it was on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it's a Hulu original. So you got to see a couple of clips of Doug Bradley in his makeup as the original Hell Priest. Here is probably the coolest photo I could get off of the internet that was clean to show you what Jamie Clayton looked like.
It is a Hulu original.
There it is. Fact check live. Well, not live because you guys aren't going to be watching this live, but you get the idea. Fact checked Hulu original. And just a side note, some of these Hulu originals, Netflix originals, how awesome are they? When you think about 10, 15 years ago, everything had to come out of a major TV or movie studio, and now we have these online streaming services.
I'm really glad I don't have to go to the movie theaters often.
Right? A+ for not having to go to movie theaters very much anymore. So here is an image of Jamie Clayton as the Hell Priest. Again, this movie you definitely need to go watch.
I just feel like you can't beat it. I'm sorry.
And you know what? That's okay.
She looks phenomenal.
She does. She does. In just about any movie genre, you're going to have the people on either side of the remake or reboot argument. Don't do it. Leave it alone. It didn't need to be remade. Didn't need to be rebooted. Whatever, what have you. The horror genre is full of remakes.
I really like how they did her voice too.
I do too, because it kind of had that.
It wasn't super manly. It wasn't super feminine.
Yeah, and it kind of had that machine, not robot, but kind of machiney tone to it. So we're not going to dive into the synapse of this one, the story of this one that much, because it is still recent.
That machine in his body.
Yes.
I don't even really know what it was doing.
If I understood it correctly, it was literally all of his main nerves.
They were being rotated.
Were running through it.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
So every time this machine would turn on, it's literally pulling his nerves through this giant machine. If that's not enough to get you to go watch this movie, I don't know what the hell.
But then also, I think we need to talk about how awful the haircut of the main character was.
Okay, yes. You can tell by the way we look that we're both 10s. It is what it is, right? No. But just like everybody else, we pass judgment on everybody that we see. So, one of our main complaints about the movie was it was almost like they were attempting to give the main character the main character a haircut from the age of the original.
80s for sure.
80s, early 90s.
It was like that Shag Wolf haircut.
You know what? It was kind of similar to...
it's the Shag Wolf haircut, I'm pretty sure.
So it was kind of similar to Linda Hamilton's in the original Terminator.
Oh, see, I was thinking of the Ginger and the new It. I think it's...
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Am I right? And it's like super short.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of...
Really shaggy.
Is it It?
Yeah, the remake.
Okay, yeah. I think so. Anyways.
I forgot where I was going with that, but it doesn't matter.
The haircut.
Character. I do think she actually did a good job. I would say my only issue with this movie is you could probably very easily shave about 20 to 25 minutes out of it. It's a relatively long movie and there's a little down.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it's amazing. It really is. I would call it more of a reboot than a remake because they took the story in a different direction than the original.
True.
They really made it their own Hellraiser film.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. That's really hard to do especially when you're doing some sort of, I don't know, monument. It's not monumental because a lot of people wouldn't put Hellraiser up there with like Michael Myers or.
Also, the building it took place in for the most of the movie was pretty cool.
That house was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people would not put Pinhead up there with Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason. I would put him up there all day.
I also thoroughly enjoyed that there was more Pinhead in this movie than the original.
That is also a huge... I was just complaining about it the other day.
Also... the Cenobites in the new one are freaking dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look so cool. And the Chatterbox looked really cool. What was the other one I'm obsessed with?
What was that? The kind of dark looking one
Yeah.
that had the. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. They did a very good job of updating the Cenobites and also giving them more screen time. One of my huge complaints about the original movies, especially the original, you probably only get about maybe 5 minutes total of Pinhead in that entire film. And that's why you're watching the movie. Nobody watches it for the awful storyline. We want to see Pinhead. We want to see the Cenobites. It's like you don't watch Terrifier for the good plot line.
Well, also, I think the movie feels long because, one, they changed the story, so you have to have enough time for that, but also
True.
giving more screen time to Pinhead and the Cenobites.
That and
See, I think it was perfect. I don't think it needed to be shorter or longer.
I'm actually going to change my opinion, and I'm going to agree. The one thing I didn't think about too was when you watch the original, you get almost no character development of the characters except for what is her name? Frank and Gloria. I think it's Gloria. Gloria and Frank is really the only two you get like backstory on. Whereas with the new one, you get backstory on the main character, the brother, the crazy old guy or not old guy, but the crazy guy with the nerve machine we were talking about. You get his story.
There was like a couple different stories that had to be followed that all just like wrapped in together. So I think it was done really well.
I think so, yeah. All I know is we watched it once, probably pretty close to when it came out. And then when we were talking about doing this as an episode of the pod, we had to rewatch the new one. And I think I rewatched rewatched all the old ones before we did this just to get it fresh in my mind. But we rewatched the 2022 version, and there was a whole bunch I didn't remember. It actually kind of felt like I was watching it again for the first time. And I was just really, really freaking impressed. Yeah, I cannot recommend the Hellraiser series more. If you're going to try the originals, take a dose of patience and just enjoy.
I kind of hope they make another one. Sorry, I interrupted you twice.
No. Interrupt me. That's okay. This is we're just talking and doing our thing.
I really do hope they make another one though.
Me too.
I think the only thing, if they were not to keep Jamie Clayton, I would like to see an actor who is like big and buff, because I think that's more fitting to what Hellraiser is. But also then I like the aspect that like Jamie Clayton is this tiny little woman, and has so much power.
Right. See, I will disagree on the Pinhead needing to be muscular.
No, I'm not saying muscular, just
bigger.
Big, like a big guy, Okay.
I can kind of see that. I don't think that they will ever come up with somebody who fit the role better than Doug Bradley. One man's opinion.
I disagree. I think Jamie Clayton blew him out of the water.
Blasphemy.
He does good. He does a really great job, though. He really does. But I think Jamie Clayton blew it out the water.
There you have it. So now what we need you to do.
Thank you for coming. Mic drop. Just kidding.
Now what we need you to do is go watch the original. It's on Tubi. Go watch the remake. It is on Hulu, which we already discussed multiple times now that I love to repeat myself. Yeah. It's the Alzheimer's from what she tells me.
I was literally about to say that.
Because I'm a grumpy old fart.
You're literally older than the original, so
I am.
How does that feel?
I am a year older. Yeah. Yeah. But so go watch those two movies. We want to hear what you think about both. What do you think about our opinions? What are your opinions? Hit us in the comments, man. We want to talk to you guys. Definitely make sure you like this video. If you want to share it somewhere cool, while it would be cool to get this crazy, making tons of money, that's awesome. We just want to have fun. We want to create a community of just big horror nerds, collectibles, cards. It's my beard comb. What's so surprising about that?
Do you see that hair?
Oh, that is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know what you think about these movies. Are there movies you guys want us to talk about? Is there a weird movie you saw lately and you want to talk about it? Shoot us a comment. Well, if you want to send us something a little bit longer, we'll send you an email you can send it to. We'll talk about what you want to talk about.
Oh, you know, we need to watch
What do you got?
The Haunting of Hill House. We need to watch that again.
Yes. Oh, you know what else I saw? I was scrolling through Shudder, and that Asriel movie's on there. For those of you who know, that's my gamer tag. And in the first couple of videos, that's what I called myself before we decided to turn this into our lovely couples podcast. Anyway, see, we'll sit here and talk horror movies all day. So just wait until we hit the 1,000 subs, and we're just going to sit here all day talking to you guys about horror movies. Going to be sweet. But anyway, if you made it this far, thank you. And I'm surprised. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for getting us to 61 subs. Go check out our TikTok. Same name, at Spooky Nerds Lair. If you're into cards, that's where we rip cards. Yeah, and that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for dropping by the Spooky Lair.
Also, if you want to hear about psychological thrillers, please tell me because I can talk about them all day.
Yes. Anything you guys want to talk about, we're going to do crime docs. We're going to do all of that stuff. She's going to get into some books. We just want to see what you guys want to talk about. As long as we're in that creepy realm, thriller, horror, we're all about it. So drop us a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we out.
Peace and blessings.